Hello, my name is Miss Johnston, and I'm going to read you one of my favorite books. It's called Crowboy. This is what it looks like, and it is by Taro Yashima. On the first day of our village school in Japan, there was a boy missing. He was found hidden away in the dark space underneath the schoolhouse. None of us knew him. He was nicknamed Chibi because he was very small, and Chibi means tiny boy. See if you can see him here under the school. There he is. This strange boy was afraid of our teacher and could not learn a thing. He was afraid of the children and could not make friends with them at all. And you can see him here by himself, away from the other children and the teacher. He was left alone in the playtime. He was always at the end of the line, always at the foot of the class, a forlorn little tag-along. Here he is. See all the other children playing, and then when they're all going into the classroom, into the school, he's tagging behind. Soon Chibi began to make his eyes cross-eyed, so that he was able not to see whatever he did not want to see. You see the other children making fun of him, sticking their tongue out at him. Not very nice. And Chibi found many ways, one after another, to kill time and amuse himself. Just the ceiling was interesting enough for him to watch for hours. The wooden top of his desk was another thing interesting to watch. A patch of cloth on the boy's shoulder in front of him was something to study. Of course, the window showed him many things all year round. Even when it was raining, the window had surprising things to show him. These are the windows. This is the patch of the boy's sweater in front of him. On the playground, if he closed his eyes and listened, Chibi could hear many different sounds near and far. You see all the sounds of things he can hear? And Chibi could hold and watch insects and grubs that most of us wouldn't touch or even look at. So that not only the children in our class, but the older ones and even the younger ones called him stupid and slowpoke. There are the bugs that he would touch, and there are the other children making fun of him. But slowpoke or not, day after day, Chibi came trudging to school. He always carried the same lunch, a rice ball wrapped in a radish leaf. Even when it rained or stormed, he still came trudging along, wrapped in a raincoat made from dried zebra grass. So here you can see his lunch. It's a rice ball wrapped in a leaf. And here you can see what he wore on rainy days. And the water would just run off of the dried grass. And so, day by day, 5 years went by, and we were in the 6th grade, the last class in school. Our new teacher was Mr. Isabe. He was a friendly man with a kind smile, and there you can see him with the students. They all liked him. And he was a special man. Mr. Isabe often took his class to the hilltop behind the school. He was pleased to learn that Chibi knew all the places where the wild grapes and wild potatoes grew. He was amazed to find out how much Chibi knew about all the flowers in our class garden. And here you can see him working in the garden. But when Chibi appeared on the stage of the talent show of that year, no one could believe his eyes. Who's that? What can that stupid do up there? Until Mr. Isabe announced that Chibi was going to imitate the sounds of crows. The voices of crows. Voices? Voices of crows? Voices of crows? And here you can see he's ready to share with the boys and girls the voices of crows. Voices of crows. First, he imitated the voices of newly hatched crows. And he made the mother crow's voice. Then he imitated the father's voice. He showed how crows cry early in the morning. He showed how crows cry when the village people have some unhappy accident. He showed how crows call when they are happy and gay. Everybody's mind was taken to the far mountainside, from which Chibi probably came to the school. There you see all the crows, the different ones. These are the newly hatched, the mother, the father, the happy ones, the ones that were worried about the accidents of the people. And at the end, to imitate a crow on an old tree, Chibi made a very special sound deep in his throat. Quat? Quat? Now everybody could imagine exactly the far and lonely place where Chibi lived with his family. And there's a picture of where he lived. And the crow you can see up in the tree. Then Mr. Isaby explained how Chibi had learned those calls, leaving his home for school at dawn, and arriving home at sunset, every day for 6 long years. Every one of us cried thinking how much we had been wrong to Chibi all those years. Even grown-ups wiped their eyes, saying, "Yes, yes, he is wonderful." Soon after that came graduation day. Chibi was the only one in our class honored for perfect attendance through all 6 years. And there he is with his award. And you can see how much he's grown up. Everyone cheering for him. After school was over, the big boys would often have work to do in the village for their families. Sometimes Chibi came to the village to sell the charcoal he and his family made, but nobody called him Chibi anymore. We all called him Crow Boy. Hi, Crow Boy. See him up here? Crow Boy would nod and smile as if he liked the name, and when his work was done, he would buy a few things for his family, and then he would set off for his home on the far side of the mountain, stretching his growing shoulders proudly like a grown-up man. And from around the turn of the mountain road would come a crow call, the happy one. And there you can see him going up home to his faraway place on the mountaintop. And that's the story of Crow Boy. I hope you have enjoyed it. Maybe you can think of somebody that you maybe have made fun of and want to think again about how special they might be. Thank you.